curtain is coming up on 19 Kids and Counting. The reality show aired for 7 seasons on TLC and was canceled after Josh Duggar admitted he had molested his siblings as a young teenager. This was before Josh Duggar was convicted on child pornography charges. The guy has serious problems. In her latest book, People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, the former cast member delves into one specific way in which she was forced to fake various moments from her life for the camera. Early days, first meals together, making small talk, the process of getting to know someone can feel a little awkward, she writes. But I would say that there's probably not an adequate word for describing the unique kind of awkward it is to go through that whole process with cameras shoved in your faces and someone interrupting you when the conversation is just starting to flow. Jinger went on to reference filming with husband Jeremy Vuolo as date night on demand, recalling how she was instructed to repeat some of the same conversation and gestures they'd made in a previous take. To be clear, Duggar explains, these moments happened organically, but what viewers saw on each episode. Well, fast forward a few months and I found myself walking down the staircase in my house toward Jeremy, anticipating that we might be about to make our relationship official, she writes, adding how a producer jumped in to ruin this special reveal. I took each stair carefully, smiling at butterflies in my stomach, excited to hear what he would say to me when I got to the bottom of the stairs. Jinger and Jeremy have been married for 8 years and seem legitimately happy. They're even expecting their 3rd child. But the journey to get to this place was clearly unusual, filled with input from outsiders and spontaneous exchanges that had to be recreated for television. He asked me to be his girlfriend, the sweetest moment, she adds. And then we got to do it all over again because there was a mic issue. And then we had to do some more takes. And then we had to do cutaways. Jinger made her small screen debut with her family in a 2004 documentary about their daily lives. 4 years later, 19 Kids and Counting premiered on TLC and aired until its 2015 cancellation. A spin-off titled Counting On, which focused on Jinger and her sisters Jill and Jessa Duggar, kicked off later that year and was cancelled in 2021. According to Duggar, meeting Jeremy in 2015 was like a breath of fresh air, but it was also kind of terrifying, she says in the book, elaborating as follows: he was so handsome and so fun and so alive. Because I was so steeped in my religious way of looking at things, I thought it was a potential step into sin to even acknowledge that I was attracted to Jeremy, that I felt my heart tugged in his direction. And once we fell in love, the vibrancy of Jeremy's outlook, faith, and devotion began to crack open a wider world of mercy and grace to me. Jinger Duggar, best known for her appearances on 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On, recently opened up about the challenges of growing up in the public eye. In her new book, People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, Jinger reflects on the awkwardness and pressures she faced while growing up under the constant scrutiny of reality TV cameras. Jinger Duggar opens up in her new book People Pleaser, Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations about the challenges of growing up under the intense scrutiny of reality TV. Known for her time on 19 Kids and Counting On, Jinger shares candid insights into the awkwardness and pressures of being filmed from a young age, offering a behind-the-scenes look at her experience in the public eye. Reality TV awkwardness. Not an adequate word to describe it. Jinger recalls the unique discomfort that comes with constantly being filmed, especially during intimate moments like family dinners. In her book, she writes, early days, first meals together, making small talk, the process of getting to know someone can feel a little awkward. However, she goes on to explain that the awkwardness of having cameras filming every moment goes beyond words. But I would say that there's probably not an adequate word for describing the unique kind of awkward it is to go through that whole process with cameras shoved in your faces and someone interrupting you when the conversation is just starting to flow. Growing up in the spotlight from the age of 10, Jinger's family was featured on the TLC documentary 14 Children and Pregnant Again in 2004, later leading to the series 19 Kids and Counting. The Duggar family's adherence to strict religious principles and their day-to-day life quickly became a focal point of public fascination, date night on demand, and the pressure of filming. Jinger's experiences as a young adult were also affected by the presence of cameras. She fondly recalls meeting her future husband, Jeremy Vuolo, during a mission trip in 2015, but filming their relationship felt anything but natural. date night on demand became a regular part of their courtship as the production team instructed them to recreate moments from previous takes. Jinger describes the feeling. "I was told to recreate some of the same conversations and gestures they had already done in previous takes during their date nights. One moment that stands out to Jinger occurred when she was about to make her relationship with Jeremy official. She writes, "Fast forward a few months and I found myself walking down the staircase in my house toward Jeremy, anticipating that we might be about to make our relationship official. I took each stair carefully, smiling at butterflies in my stomach, excited to hear what he would say to me when I got to the bottom of the stairs. But just as she reached the bottom, the familiar words cut. 'Jinger, go back up the stairs, please. We need to start over to get the shot,' interrupted the moment the pressure of perfection and performance expectations. Jinger's experience in reality TV often left her feeling torn between her natural desire to please others and the expectation to perform for the cameras. As she recounts, "He asked me to be his girlfriend, the sweetest moment. And then we got to do it all over again because there was a mic issue. And then we had to do some more takes. And then we had to do cutaways." Pressure to maintain a perfect on-screen image was something Jinger grew accustomed to. "It was all I had known since the age of 10, she admits. However, for Jeremy and some of her other brothers-in-law, this was an entirely new experience. A new chapter. Leaving reality TV behind. Though Jinger has expressed fondness for certain aspects of her time in the limelight, she has made it clear that she does not plan to return to reality television. In a February 2024 Instagram Q&A, Jinger shared, "I enjoyed many aspects of the show, but I have no intentions of coming back to TV with the release of her book." Jinger is embracing a new chapter in her life, focusing on her personal growth and her family, away from the cameras and the pressures of public life. Her reflections offer a unique perspective on the complexities of growing up under the constant gaze of reality TV, shedding light on the emotional toll that comes with living in the spotlight. Josh Duggar is a reality TV star, best known for her role in the popular TLC series 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On. She is the sixth child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, a couple who gained fame for raising a large family while following strict religious principles from the Institute in Basic Life Principles (IBLP). Jinger made her television debut at age 10 on 14 Children and Pregnant Again, which later evolved into 19 Kids and Counting. In 2015, she married Jeremy Vuolo, a former professional soccer player and pastor. Together, they have built a life outside of the reality TV spotlight, although Jinger's experiences growing up on television have continued to shape her personal and professional journey. Jinger recently published a book titled People Pleaser: Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, where she shares her reflections on growing up in the public eye and dealing with the pressure of fame. Jinger Duggar Vuolo revealed the baby gender of her upcoming third child on Tuesday, and also made strong remarks about her upbringing in the reality TV family amid the staunch religious beliefs of her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Jinger, who has been wed to husband Jeremy Vuolo for 8 years, told Entertainment Tonight Tuesday she is expecting a boy in March. "We're having a boy and we're very excited," said Jinger, who shares daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 3, with Vuolo. The Arkansas-born reality star said the gender reveal even caught her off guard. "I was so shocked to find out it was a boy because I feel like everything felt the same. I actually had a lot of similarities to the pregnancy with the girls," she added. "I was so shocked I almost fell off my chair. I was like, how is this the boy gonna fit in? But we are keeping the name a secret until the baby's born, which is what we always do." Jinger told the show her rationale in keeping the name of the child private until the time of birth. "We've had friends who've had issues with people like, 'Oh, I'm gonna share the name,' and then no one likes it," Jinger said. "But once that baby's born, everybody thinks it's the cutest name ever. So that's our motto, our theory on it." The reality star made multiple media appearances Tuesday as she promoted the release of book People Pleaser: Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations. Speaking with Fox News Digital, Jinger said she realized as an adult she had an upbringing that was cult-like in many ways under Jim Bob and Michelle's watch. Jinger previously penned the 2023 book Becoming Free Indeed, which detailed her 2017 defection from the church she was raised in, the Institute for Basic Life Principles (IBLP). I exposed the harmful teachings I was raised under, but then I began to realize that I was so entrapped by what people think about me that I was almost unwilling to speak on this topic, she told Fox. I was so afraid of losing my community, my friends, my family, those who I love so dearly. She added, I thought if I spoke up against them, then I would be putting everything on the line, and as a people pleaser, it was the disapproval that I faced that I feared the most. Jinger told ET that she has a complicated relationship with her parents amid her outspokenness. There are definitely difficulties, things that we don't see eye to eye on. Jinger told Fox that a move out of Laredo, Texas opened her eyes and hit her like a ton of bricks, and how she came off to people she didn't know well. I was in Laredo for 2.5 years, she said. As we were leaving Texas, one of the ladies in our community said, I'm going to miss you, but I also feel like I didn't get to know you. Maybe you didn't let me into your life as much as I would have wished. She continued, I had been so guarded. I had been so afraid of what people thought about me that I wanted to keep up this performance. I was afraid that if I showed them that I had hard days, they wouldn't like me. Maybe they thought I was insecure about what I didn't know. Jinger said that she got a chilly reception from some people in her family over the contents of her first book. It was difficult because I did receive some criticism from friends and loved ones, Jinger said. I think it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I realized that at the end of the day I had to speak my truth. Jinger said that at the same time there was an overwhelming majority of them who were helped by her publicly questioning the validity of the Church's teachings. She said, they thought I haven't stopped to consider if these teachings are accurate. She added, helping people come out of the cult-like teachings that I was raised under was the most rewarding thing. Looking back, I could have remained silent as a people pleaser, but then so many people would still be stuck with those teachings. It has been more encouraging than anything just to see the number of people who have been helped by me sharing my story. Jinger Duggar Vuolo recently gave Counting on fans an update on her relationship with her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, and revealed where her relationship currently stands with her incarcerated brother, Josh. The former TLC reality star, who recently released yet another book about her life in the IBLP cult, talked to Entertainment Tonight about how writing books about her family's faith has created some strain with some of the Duggars, including her mom and dad. It's complicated, she said of the current state of her relationship with Jim Bob and Michelle. There are definitely difficulties, things that we don't see eye to eye on. Still, Jinger said she was very thankful to be able to go spend time in Duggarville with her family recently. She and her husband Jeremy Vuolo and their 2 kids went to Arkansas to celebrate Jinger's birthday and Christmas in December. In a video posted to the couple's YouTube channel, she is seen interacting with both her mom and dad despite the strain in their relationship. It was such a sweet visit, peaceful, so amazing, Jinger said, adding, I love my family more than anything. Like her sister Jill Duggar Dillard, who also has a complicated relationship with Ma and Pa Duggar, Jinger has openly criticized the way her parents brought her and her 18 siblings up. During a June 2024 appearance on the Unplanned podcast, Jinger admitted that she didn't think it was right that her parents made her take care of some of her younger siblings, even though she was still a kid herself. I think that parents should take care of their kids, Jinger said. If you have them, you should take care of them. Kids can help out, learn responsibility in other ways, but maybe not in the motherly aspects of what moms or dads should be doing. You have all these imbalances of kids raising kids. I think that I saw that a lot in the system, and I think that that is unhealthy. Still, in her new interview with ET, Jinger admitted that she tries to look past the differences she has with her family. I think that almost any family will have places where they disagree on things, she said. But at the end of the day, I have nothing but love for them. Jinger doesn't have nothing but love for every member of the Duggar clan, however. During her interview with ET, she was asked about the current state of her relationship with her eldest brother Josh, who is currently living that 3 hots and a cot life in federal prison. As fans know, Josh was convicted in December 2021 of receiving child sex abuse materials. He will be caged in the slammer until at least October 2 to 3 in the years since Josh got locked up. Various members of the Duggar family have visited him, sent him money to buy luxury items in prison, and supported him. In her new interview, Jinger made it clear that she is not one of them. I haven't spoken to him at all since he's been in prison, Jinger said. I think that, prior to him going to prison, we had opportunities to speak to him whenever he's gone through his problems. And I've said all I need to say, and now I just commit it to prayer, and pray that his life will be changed. Jinger said that she does pray for Josh's family, which includes 7 kids and his wife Anna, who is very much still committed to the felonious father of her children. "I pray that his life will be changed," Jinger said of Josh. "That's all I can do is just pray for his family, his victims, and all of that." 19 Kids and Counting. Jinger Duggar's latest book reveals some unexpected details about the effects of her ultra-conservative upbringing. And People Pleaser. Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, which debuted Tuesday, January 14th, the 31-year-old revealed that she didn't learn to swim as a kid due to the constraints of her family's modest wardrobe. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their 19 children as followers of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, with women expected to wear dresses or skirts falling at least to knee length. Every time Duggar kids broke a family rule. Jinger wearing pants and more. The former reality star admitted that being around water of all kinds felt scary without knowing how to swim. As an adult, however, Jinger has begun to dip a toe in since welcoming daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 4, with husband Jeremy Vuolo. Jinger announced in October 2024 that she's pregnant with the pair's third baby. "I want my kids to know how to swim. I want them to know that I can too," Jinger wrote. "But I was still so scared, thinking back to the few times I tried as a kid, the long skirt encasing my flailing legs." Jinger was initially hesitant to try again. Her people-pleasing tendencies made her scared to fail, but she found comfort in a friend named Rebecca, who helped her learn. Jinger Duggar's Becoming Free Indeed book revelations down why mom had always dressed us girls in skirts and dresses, a standard that was taken from Deuteronomy 22.5, which says, "A woman shall not wear a man's garment," she wrote in her second book, The Hope We Hold. Modesty was a huge topic in our house, and we believed that wearing skirts instead of pants was a central part of being modest. But I wanted to discover for myself what the Bible had to say. Jinger explained that she started digging into the deeper meaning behind familiar passages of Scripture after she married Vuolo, 37, in 2016. She realized that modesty isn't only about what you wear but is also about the position of your heart. Jinger also never found a passage specifically forbidding women from wearing pants.